Now we'll look at multi-loop limicons. So general information here. The formulas that generate the inner loop limicons or multi-loop limicons are given by r equals a plus or minus b cosine theta and r equals a plus or minus b sine theta, where, get this, they're both positive. A and b are both positive, but a over b is less than 1, which means a is less than b. Little trick I did there with algebra. Okay, so here's the case where it's r equals a plus b cosine theta. You get the inner loop. A minus b cosine theta, a plus b sine theta, a minus b sine theta. So now we're going to sketch the graph of r equals 2 plus 5 cosine theta. So when I'm looking at this, it's going to be like we saw in the previous video if you watched that one. The smallest cosine can be is -1. No, sorry, I'm looking at biggest. Biggest cosine can be is +1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. So we're going to be going out to 7. So let's, oops, didn't mean for that to scroll up, I apologize. So let's take a look at this graph. We'll plot some points. We're going to go out to 2 pi again. So we'll do theta, and we can do cosine theta, 5 cosine theta, 2 plus 5 cosine theta. And we're going to have to do this two sets of this, because theta, cosine theta, 5 cosine theta, 2 plus 5 cosine theta. Okay, so I'll go 0, then pi over 6, then pi over 3, pi over 2, 2 pi over 3, 11 pi over 6, and pi. And then we'll do 7 pi over 6, 4 pi over 3, 3 pi over 2, 5 pi over 3, 11 pi over 6, and then 2 pi. So start at 0. Cosine of 0 is 1. 5 times that's 5, plus 2 is 7. So we're going to be starting all the way out here at 7. So for pi over 6, cosine of that is square root of 3 over 2. That's 5 times that's 5 root 3 over 2. And I'm going to add 2 to that, and I'm going to give the decimal approximation at 6.3. For pi over 3, that's 1/2. So 5 times that's 5 halves. That brings us out to 4.5. Pi over 2 is 0. 5 times that's still 0, so we get 2 out of that. 2 pi over 3, that's going to give us a -1/2. Cosine of that's -1/2. So -5 halves. And then 2 minus that is going to be -0.5. 11 pi over 6 is going to be, sorry, that should be 5 pi over 6, not 11 pi over 6. I know if I was in class, you probably all would have told me. You got that wrong. So that's going to be negative square root of 3 over 2. So -5 root 3 over 2. So that's going to give us approximately -2.3. We're at -1 for pi. So -5, and then 2 plus -5 is -3. So just to put it in context, this is taking us to 6.3, so that's our 6 and that's our 7, so it's going to be right about there. And then we're at 4.5, right about there. And then we're at 2, so wow, that comes down pretty quickly. And then we're switching to negative, so it would be up here. It's positive, but it's -0.5, so it's down here. So it's already kind of crossing over. And then we get to 5 pi over 6 would be here. And so we're at -2.3, so right about there. That's going to be a pretty good sized loop. And then pi is here, but it's at -3, so it goes to here. So right, we see in this beginning part, and we'll continue the plotting the points. I'll calculate the points out. I think it's interesting to see this develop. So you see we're getting this inner loop here. There we go. Okay. So then we'll continue on. Cosine of 7 pi over 6 is negative square root of 3 over 2. So it's negative 5 root 3 over 2. And 2 plus that is negative 2.3. And then we have negative 1/2 cosine of 4 pi over 3. So negative 5 halves. And then 2 plus that is going to be negative 0.5. 3 pi over 2 is 0. 5 times that's 0, so we get a 2 out of that. 5 pi over 3, now we're in this fourth quadrant. 5 pi over 3 is going to be 1/2, so if that's 5 times that's 5 halves. And then add 2 to that, we are going to be at the 4.5. 11 pi over 6 is that square root of 3 over 2. Cosine of that is 11 square root of 3 over 2. 5 times that is 5 root 3 over 2. And then 2 plus that is around 6.3. And 2 pi, cosine of that is 1. And then that's going to be 5 times that's 5, so we get 7. So we'll continue plotting points. We're on this one here, and it's going to be a negative 2.3, so right about there. Then we're at negative 0.5 for this one. And then we're at 2 for this one. So what's happened is come out back around like this. And then we're at 5 pi over 3 is here. So 4.5. And then we're at 6.3, so we're about there, and back out to 7. And there you go. There is a multi-loop or inner loop limacon.